Elizabeth2.
Has anyone spotted the acrobatic feats?
No.
Okay, look out for those.
Look out for the frogs. We just saw that barrack schnool, Rhythm of the City performing live music on their own float. Oh yeah. It's a giant pansy field here. Oh, look at that lion.
Yep, they're definitely having fun.
Look, Grandpa's got Louis now. Close up of pig snout. Some representations here of and also the Day of the Dead. If you've seen the film Coco, you'll know all about this. And the Day of the Dead celebrated in Mexico. And they have a big carnival, but it's very much almost they come back to life because you're connected to them.
More funny faces from Prince Louis.
Change in music and rhythm. We now have the Somerset-based Bridgewater Guy Fawkes Carnival. This is Jubilation. And the interesting thing about Bridgewater, Carnival's a really, really big thing, right? Bridgewater's in Somerset. And usually they've got 17 rival carnival clubs and they all compete with each other and they come out with the best kind of float. This is on Guy Fawkes night. This is the first time they've all worked together. So this is all of them combined. They've taken 12 months to build the cart, and this is huge. 32 costume performers singing and dancing, 110 more of them dancing in the street, and it's representative of the street parties taking place all over the country.
But normally these people would be in competition, fierce competition with each other, but today they come together.
There is that sense of coming together, isn't there, around the country, people for the longest luncheon table that I think probably exists up on the Long Walk. And, you know, not everyone's going to be as long and as wonderful as the one going on at Windsor, but many street parties be taking place up and down the country today. Thousands.
So the centrepiece here is the fully articulated cart, and it's 30.5 metres long, it's 5 metres high, and it's got lighting, it's got moving parts.
For many, many years.
see the flamingos in the background there, powered by mobility scooters.
I love it.
Yeah, which is great. I mean, I just think there is so much in this pageant and so much variety, and so many thousands of people have been involved in putting it together, and I love the fact that it embraces everyone.
Were you saying, Claire, there was very little or hardly any rehearsal for this?
I don't think they were able to rehearse at all, actually, Scott, because how could you rehearse for something like this? This is the one and only run, so,
Yes.
and it's going super well.
I think they've tried as much as they can to rehearse in bits in different places, obviously. But these animal costumes coming down roads at whatever time in the morning. But what's going on?
And that's remarkable, isn't it? This centrepiece, this giant 3D wireframe bust of Her Majesty the Queen.
And we've got the dancers in purple and white forming the coronation robe.
And the giant gold orb.
And the orb and sceptre, sacred objects used during the ceremony of the coronation itself. So 300 costumes and many, Prince of Wales finding this bit really amusing, with Princess Royal as well. Entering the spirit.
Lovely to see the royals so animated.
Yeah.
You don't often get to see that. Well, maybe at the horse races.
Yeah, the Princess Royal was at the Derby yesterday, Peter and Zara Phillips there too. And the Princess Royal representing the Queen, who obviously would have been there and would have loved to have been there, but would have been watching with huge interest.
You noticed that at the party there last night, Claire, didn't you? They're having fun. They're really enjoying themselves, and that's just lovely to see.
And you can feel that all around the country, that the mood can unite in a positive way, and I think for all the performers, this has given them such a focal point, something to work together towards, and now just to really live the moment and enjoy it.
Imagine if you're one of these performers, like, when you go home tonight, how do you come down from this,
For the whole 4 days and either coming very early in the morning and going back to a hotel somewhere in London or sleeping, wherever they could find and staying with friends. Or, obviously, many of them just being based on the Mall.
Yeah, camping.
Yeah.
I've met a couple of campers out there.
I saw a lot yesterday.
Yeah. They wanted the best seats, and you might argue there's a lot of people very lucky to be sitting in seats here, but actually, they've done such a good job with screens down on the Mall and in St James's Park. The city's just staged this brilliantly, so much so that everyone really can be a part of it.
I could not believe the enormity of that crowd for the concert last night, which is as far as you could see, because I did the warm-up set for the concert last night. I mean, I'm never going to be able to top that in my life. It was people as far as I could humanly see.
Which is made all the more extraordinary when you think where we were 2 years ago and now. The contrast is extraordinary. This is one big party, and it's so good to be back together again.
And the Queen Victoria Memorial providing the most glorious turning point.
What would Queen Victoria make of this?
One is not amused. Fun Prince Louis, I think he's loving it today, and having a little boogie of his own, and look at him there. Oh, and look behind Mike Tyndall. And Mia and Lena are here. And I think Lucas might make an appearance as well. He's only 15 months old, but the third of Mike and Zara Tyndall's children might just pop in.
We were saying last night with Kirsty, for many of the children, last night would have been their first concert. That's quite the first concert to go to, isn't it?
Oh my, it doesn't. It's not. How do you top
How
that?
do you stop that?
Now entering the section called From Tiny Acorns, and this really dancers from groups across the UK representing the flora and the fauna of the UK and the Commonwealth. So you're going to see dancing strawberries and pineapple queens and all sorts here. And led by 24 bananas and elaborate costumes worn by senior female members of the community and samba bands in Rio. And the Gangster Grands it is who are doing this, a street dance for the over 60s group from Preston, and the Iberian folk as well, a London-based group of over 60s who practice Latin American dances.
Look at those ribbons as well, of Her Majesty.
Well, this is the centrepiece. It's an oak tree, the structure in it, and the maypole of the rainbow ribbons around it, and the oak tree symbolising longevity, stability, endurance, power and honesty.
And of course, being very much a national symbol.
Two lollipop aerialists on the right there, a tower, trampolines as well for backflip Ben.
Because everybody out there today, give us a wave. Give me a wave. Give me a wave.
And underneath that balloon we had Andrew tattooed
Yeah, it's already there down.
we will see that the royal standard has been raised, and that means Her Majesty the Queen is here.
Of course, we went.
Is she coming out?
Sure, whether
Feel like
20 urban dancers from the Tottenham-based group Steppers surrounding the float here. Fun Prince Louis, I think he's loving it today, and you know, having a little boogie of his own. And look at him there. Oh, and look behind Mike Tyndall. And Mia and Lena are here. And I think Lucas might make an appearance as well. He's only 15 months old, but the third of Mike and Zara Tyndall's children might just pop in.
We were saying last night with Kirsty, for many of the children, last night would have been their first concert. That's quite the first concert to go to, isn't
Oh
it?
my, it doesn't. It's not. How do you top
How
that?
do you stop that?
Now entering the section called From Tiny Acorns, and this really dancers from groups across the UK representing the flora and the fauna of the UK and the Commonwealth. So you're going to see dancing strawberries and pineapple queens and all sorts here. And led by 24 bananas and elaborate costumes worn by senior female members of the community and samba bands in Rio. And the Gangster Grands it is who are doing this, a street dance for the over 60s group from Preston, and the Iberian folk as well, a London-based group of over 60s who practice Latin American dances.
Look at those ribbons as well, of Her Majesty.
Well, this is the centrepiece. It's an oak tree, the structure in it, and the maypole of the rainbow ribbons around it, and the oak tree symbolising longevity, stability, endurance, power and honesty.
And of course, being very much a national symbol.